Hey guys, it's Fan with another video. In this one, I'll be covering just like corner ecoing and mini bases and just eco in general, so that players can have a better understanding of how this works. Before I begin, these Swann rock. This is sandbox mode, and my sandbox mode doesn't spawn with rocks, so I'm kind of using these Swann rocks as the in-game rocks. And also, this is gonna be a long video. I'm gonna try and cover all the basics, so make sure you check out the timestamps in the description below, so that you don't have to waste your time with the basic stuff if you already understand it. So first we're going to cover corner eco. Normally when I start the game, I'll have like a scientist, I'll create the SCV and I'll have it go to a corner and I'll make it like this, something like that. I never make it in the corner here because as lings go around this corner, once they are right here, they can see this corner spot, but a ling that is right here cannot see this spot right here. So, like, this generator is safe from the high ground vision. That's just how vision works in this game. And you can have the SCV in there to repair. I'll normally get these generators to about, +2, +4. Just so that if it dies, I don't really care. Because after it pays off and I have more eco somewhere else, like, once I have, like, this much eco somewhere else, this dying is not the biggest deal. But you can salvage it and put it into this spot if you want. Never do this. Like, here, I'll show you right here. This ling, if you zoom in, like, he has some vision around him. And if he's right here, he cannot see anything there. But as he goes right here, you can kind of see that corner spot's lighting up a little bit because he has vision. It's not super obvious, but it's enough. So never do this. This is a mistake. This is how you do corner ecoing. All classes can do it, even though ×4 buildings, but it just sticks out way more 4 times buildings, more likely to be found. So sometimes as areas, I'll just plop like one building here, just find random places, one building here. Or I can defend it from the very beginning, because Ares is good at that too. So after that, you can either hide your eco like this. So this is like a decoy wall. Decoy walls are kind of expensive early game, so I usually put the bank and the forge as part of the wall because my eco's right here as the market for spirit. So that's just how that works. If a random ling finds a decoy wall, I'll just remake it. And then we're gonna go to mini bases. So I try to like get all the mini bases on the map. Like this is an okay one. Like you can have an outpost here, and then that will kill almost every lane. And then you can have an outpost right here to kill the 5 lanes that are not killed by this outpost. So you have one outpost here, and then your eco here. And that's one way to like hide your eco and not be super obvious about it, because there won't be many panes here. And this is kind of a common common outpost spot, and you can easily remake this outpost. Yeah, so there'll be like 110 mineral outpost, which is almost the cost of a decoy wall. So like it's a decoy wall that farms gas for you, and it's a more hidden location. So stuff like that is really good. Or you can do stuff like this where you have a scientist with 3 reapers farming gas here, and because there's rocks here, here, and here, you can eco here, and the only entrance to it is this location, which you're defending with reapers. So if they send a big lean ball from the mid, you can just kite, stutter step, stutter step, stutter step, stutter step. You can maybe make a few more reapers or firebat as an emergency, but ideally you don't. It might be better to just salvage and remake. Mira can do the same thing with vultures and outback hunters. Ares can do the same thing with vultures. A lot of classes can do that, where you're just farming out there. And mid game, what you can do is you have like a decoy wall there. Oh, hopefully I can get through. No, I'm gonna have to blink. Alright. And then a 3-space wall with a hole in the middle, and you put a firebat in the hole. So the firebat is protected. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. This should be further back, so that attacking units here do not protect this decoy wall, because this is more to be hidden. And if this is found by, like if Zerg finds a spot through a patrol, they're going to attack you. And it's at this point where this wall becomes much better. So you have this firebat here protecting this entrance. As random lanes come in here, they will not attack the non-attacking flashlights. They'll only attack the attacking unit, the firebat. So they're going to go through this chokepoint that you made, a one-tile chokepoint, which is pretty strong. And you can have a ghost there as DPS. So like the flashlights cost 70 minerals, the firebat and the ghost cost another 100 minerals each. So it's only 270 minerals, so it's pretty cheap. Don't spend too much money on a defense. But if you can defend it from mass lane for pretty cheap, you know, that's pretty strong. So let's cover the next. This is another mini base location right here. If the rocks are right, like right here, here and here. This can be another mini base location. If the rocks are like this, you can have eco here, defend this. Eco, another location here, eco here, defend this, or defend here. This is another spot. I don't think Spirit's the best for mini base defending, but like this is how you can do it. The way this works is that lanes can actually attack this turret, and because they have a path to the turret, they will ignore these flashlights, or these shield batteries, sorry. So the lanes will ignore the shield batteries and funnel into this tiny little choke point to try and kill this spirit tower. Well, you know, 5 towers are doing DPS, and only 1 lane is able to DPS at a time. And you have the shield batteries healing, and it can be pretty strong. You can also have like another shield battery here just for, because a few lanes after like 10 seconds will start damaging the shield batteries, but this is a really strong way to have a mini base. Another location is right here. This is like a way Swann can do it, like 2 walls on a 4-tile checkpoint, the Steadolite for vision, and like 1 or 2 turrets right here. Ideally salvage or cloak if you get found though, because it's not the strongest mini base, but it's pretty cheap. How cheap is this actually? 50 minerals for the wall. This is free. And this costs 75 minerals each. Turrets kind of suck. Yeah. So this is another mini base location. If you have any 2 of the rocks, you can just defend the 3rd location. Doesn't matter which 2 rocks. So another place, this is called the donut, because this is like the hole in the middle surrounded by high ground. It's pretty nice. If the 2 rocks are right here and here, you have like these really nice choke points. So people like this for basing. Like this isn't a way Stukov can base, like just some infested marines with civilians in front. And normally with Stukov, I like to have Stukov in one corner of the map and a naktul on the other corner of the map. So you have 2 mini bases going, and you just watch the mini map. And if you see Kerrigan at 1, you just salvage all your buildings, run away your naktul or Stukov, maybe blink, and spawn some infested. That did not work for some reason. And then yeah, spawn some infested marines, wait a little bit, and then go right back here, make your mini base again in the exact same location. And Kerrigans usually make like a counterclockwise or clockwise rotation around the map, and because they just hit your spot, either they're gonna have to wait a while before they attack you again, or they're gonna have to backtrace, and that helps your teammates and your other basing location. So like there's no real good answer for Zerg. Alright, next up we have, okay, here's Nomad. This is the same concept as the Scientist, but you can do it with hellbats, which is a little bit stronger actually, because the scvs can repair the hellbats. So you know, eco here, rocks are here. This is only entrance. You have a decoy wall here for defense, or to be hidden. And if this gets found, or not this gets found, like if they just find your spot in the general, you have the spot for defense. And this will kill a lot. Another spot. Oh, I missed Ascendant. Okay. So this is what I see ZBT doing all the time. It's really frustrating to deal with a Zerg. He'll eco right here from like the beginning of the game, and then he'll create cannons here as an outpost, and then he will defend the cannons with a cloud, which gives it cloak. So you scan this location with mass lane right, and then he just stasis fields it, and then the scan runs out and you don't have vision anymore and it's cloaked again, so you have to do another scan, and by that time, yeah, I don't know, it's just not fun. And if you come here with Kerrigan, you kill this wall, but he salvages this, he blinks like to the low ground, and then you kill this, you leave, or you don't kill this, you just like kill the outpost, you leave, and he goes right back in the same location. And you can do the same concept with Selendis in this location. You can do it here, you can do it here if the rocks are right, like if there's rocks here and here, you can eco here and put your outpost here. I like doing that. That's another location you can do it. But like, you know, Selendis has the same concept. You're cloaked, your cannons are cloaked. You can put a sentry here, that's a variation. The sentry will not be cloaked, so it'll make it a little bit more obvious on the minimap. But I mean, like, it's only more obvious during the pain, because units do not stay on the minimap, but buildings do if they attack. The sentry is a little bit stronger for defense, even though it's more obvious because of the force field. If lings come, you can time warp, and that's really strong too. And you just eco like this. Next up, we have... Okay, so engineer. I don't really think it's the best with engineer, just because if you get found with a decoy wall as engineer, you can just lift up and lift down, and the moment you lift up, the lane attacking it will pretend like the building never existed on the minimap. I don't know how to describe that better, but like, if you just lift up and then while the lane's attacking and then lift back down, it just does not show up on the minimap for Zerg. It does not stay on the minimap. It will show up initially, but it will not stay on the minimap. Team Nova, I mean, you can just have Tosh and Nova protecting it. And you can do the same concept with Team Nova. I mean, yeah, with Team Nova as Stukov, where you have opposite sides of the map. DT, really, you can't be minibasing as DT, because if you're defending the entrance, you're probably not getting as many lanes. The best spot to farm lanes on the map is like here, 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 and here. And you want to stay there as long as possible. I'd recommend, if you're newer, just staying low eco as DT and getting a lot of upgrades, which means you'll have a high impact on the game, like pretty much every game. And the upgrades means you can kill more lanes, which is eco basically. But Zerg can't snipe upgrades, they can only snipe eco. So it's just a way to like play safely as DT and be strong. Profit, I mean, you can't really minibase, but you can add explosion wards to minibases, and that makes it really strong. And you can farm gas. A lot of people like to just like corner eco, or not corner eco, but corner their buildings, just so they don't die all the time. Like, especially the more expensive buildings like Particle Accelerator, Antimatter Facility, Prophecy Archives, those all cost 1,000 minerals. You don't want them dying. Yeah. So next up, we have Scion. So like, if the rocks are here, 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 the only entrance being here, like, you can just kill all lanes with Storm or Chain Lightning every time they come, and portal out and just eco. So you can always defend your eco like that. And then at your eco spot, you can have a mana well. Make sure you salvage it because it's expensive. It costs, where's it right here? 200 minerals and 5 gas. That's pretty expensive, especially early game. But you can have that there. I've also seen people overdrive their mana well, and I'm not sure if that's that good, but I mean, you can try it. This is Ares. Like, mainly you just want a wall. Like, actually, the rocks are here and here, so which means their only entrances are over here, and they have to walk through here. So you have a wall, you have SCVs behind it repairing, and you have vultures damaging, and you can always make, ideally you should have a second weapons archive, well, especially later in the game, and that way if this one dies, you can like just make a few more emergency units here. Also, you can do it a little bit different. Where, see, the repair is good. Look, the vultures can't kill it. Alright. You can have, oh, I see what happens. Okay. So you can have 2 Vikings right here. With an army of Vikings. Yeah, with an army of vultures defending it. And that's just another way to minibase. That's more later in the game though, because this costs 400 minerals. And the vultures, that's probably going to be another 400 minerals. Yeah, but like, repair is pretty strong. Alright. And you want to have like a worker tunnel too. And I cannot kill this actually. There we go. Yeah, so you would have like vultures here. With Vikings behind for DPS. And that just works. So we're back to Stukov. Is that every class? Okay, here's our Tannis. So, you know how like people don't place their buildings evenly? That's actually what you kind of... You actually don't want to place them evenly as Artanis in the entrance. Because they're not going to attack these 200 HP warp gates. Or 100 shields, 100 life warp gates. So you can just place adepts in the choke points. And that's just a way to mini-base. Since motherships are way less efficient than assimilators, this is a much better early metagame to do. Just mini-base. And you can always... Like, if they come with an overwhelming amount of units or Kerrigan, you can actually just recall these units out. I'll show you. So actually what a lot of people do is they just make like 1 or 2 mothership cores. Like they'll be out here with Artanis. They'll make a nexus here, make 1 or 2 mothership cores, and then a salvage building instantly because they don't need it anymore. But as you can see here, there's a mass recall button. So like you have this for vision here. And then if Kerrigan herself comes, you can actually save all these adepts and just mass recall to a nexus over here or something, saving the adepts so you can mini base somewhere else. And in addition, this mothership core can make buildings. So you basically only lose like 125 minerals here if they find your eco and the salvage. And you just instantly rebuild somewhere else. So that's strong. I think that's every class. I wonder if I didn't cover anything. Okay, there was a few... No? Yeah, okay, I'll just go over the spots I didn't cover. So like right here, I'll just go through every mini base location on the map. Yeah, every mini base location on the map. So you can eco here, with an outpost here to kill most of the lanes. And like the few, like 1 or 2 lanes that get past, you have an outpost here, just so it's not found. And for this kind of outpost, like, because this eco is supposed to be hidden with an outpost, quote unquote, here, you want to make sure that like it's a unit-based defense, so it doesn't stay on the minimap forever for Zerg. Here's another mini-base location if the rocks are here and here. Here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. Here's another mini-base location if there's only 1 entrance to this base. Here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. Here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. Here's another main base location. If there's only 1 entrance, the rocks can be anywhere as long as there's 2. And even if there's only 1 rock, like you just have 2 places to defend, that can be a little bit more hidden, quote unquote.
Anytime you're ready.
Here's another location, especially if these rocks are here. You can do something like this, but this can die to roaches and hydras, so this is more of an early mid-game thing. Same thing with here. Here's another mini-base location I was showing earlier, if the only entrance is here. Here's another mini-base location if there's only 1 entrance. Here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. So there's rocks here, here, and here. That can work. I mean, like, okay, here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. Here's another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. This can be another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. This can be another mini-base location if the only entrance is here. This can be a mini-base location if the only entrance is here. This can be a mini-base location if the only entrance is here. This can be a mini base location if the only entrance is here. You can kind of mini base here if the only entrance is here. You can kind of mini base like in this location if there's only one entrance. You can mini base here if the only entrance is here. You can kind of do what Cyan's doing here. You can have a mini base here if the only entrance is here. Same thing with here if the only entrance is here. Mini base here if the only entrance is here. Mini base here if there's only one entrance. Mini base here if the only entrance is like right here. Mini base here if the only entrance is right here. Mini base here if the only entrance is here. Mini base here if there's only one entrance. Some people mini base here if they're and like just cover multiple entrances. You can mini base here if the only entrance is here. Mini base here if the only entrance is like over here, like and there's rocks here and here. You can mini base here if the only entrance is here. You can mini base here if the only entrance is here. You can mini base here if there's only one entrance. You can mini base here if the only entrance is here. You can mini base here if the only entrance is like right here. And you can mini base here if the only entrance is here. I think I got all the spots. I think I said the same thing multiple times. Oh, here's another mini base location. You can mini base here and then defend like both spots. That can be a little bit tricky. Like zerg won't expect that sometimes. But I think I got all the spots. Like sometimes people mini base here and defend both spots. But like you kind of get the idea. Like they find a big area with only one location, one entrance. Sometimes there's two entrances and they just defend both. And that can be a little bit more hidden. But yeah, I think that's everything for this video. I guess I'll go over cloak deco really quick though. So let me get all the classes that have cloak deco. Yeah. Let's do that for sure. So that's one class I can eco. Here's another. And Selendis is the third. Let me look at my Discord really quick, just to check all the classes. So the ones that can cloak eco are Artanis, Ascendant. Oh, Helios, that's obvious. Like all his eco is pretty obvious. The cloaked. Oh, Scientist is another one. Okay, cool. I think I got all of them. I mean, like DT late game, but like that doesn't really happen. And Prophet. All right. So let's look. Where'd you go? All right. So Magellan, level 5 with level 3 cloak, has infinite cloaking. So we're gonna give him some levels, and we're gonna upgrade cloak 3 times. And if you do that, he can just cloak forever, and his energy actually goes up. Although I do not think that's the strongest use of Magellan, it's just something you can do. I believe the strongest use of Magellan is Shredder Missile, because as you rank it up, as you can see, the armor reduction becomes like 5, 10, 15, 20. I really think this is going to get nerfed very soon, so it's probably going to get outdated pretty quickly. But if you just combine that with a fast attacking unit like Marines and just put it on Kerrigan or Thackrus or Dahaka, or like, it just kills them so fast, especially if you combine it with this attack speed buff. So I really think these two are the strongest abilities, and wasting it on cloak, it's not the best thing, but this is just an alternate you can do. Here's another cloak. You can just have Mothership. This one's pretty obvious, and just like, so you make like 2 Mothership core. So like Artanis is right here, right? You make a Nexus right here. You send 2 Mothership cores like over here. You salvage this right when they're done making the Mothership cores. and then you turn one into a mothership, and the mothership core can just build. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, spam's calling me. Alright, and it only clicks your own buildings, not teammates. That got nerfed a long time ago. I mean, this can cloak, but not really. Where did I put Ascendant? Cloud. Okay. So you can have obelisk like right here, and then you have the cloud attacking a rock. Oh, cool! It actually attacks it. Okay, so you have the cloud attacking a rock, and that way the cloud doesn't attack random lanes, which will give the zerg pains. So I can actually. This will be faster. Every time I hit W, I get the warp gates from Artanis. That's fun. Alright. So you just like... You just eco right here. Something like this. Just find any rock on the map. Like you can do that. If you want to do this higher micro, you can attack your own obelisk. And as this one gets low, you attack a new one. And as this one gets low, you attack a new one. And as this one gets low, you attack a new one. And this is a lot more micro. But it allows you to eco where there's no rocks, which makes it way less obvious because you can eco somewhere like right here. Or there's also some synergies in the game where you attack your own pylon, and the pylon is getting repaired by either scvs or a shield battery, and that way it never dies. And it just be able to infinitely eco like that, because as you can see when you attack this rock, there's a little bit of a, there's that spell effect. So if Zerg is actually looking at the rock, they might see it's being attacked. It's a little rare for it to happen, but it can happen. But some Zergs will use lings to attack the rocks as well. And then they'll see if the rock is being attacked by a cloud. There's a lot of manual labor from the Zerg. So we have this mothership. We have Cloud. We have Magellan. And then we have Selendis. So Selendis can cloaker eco. And so hunters have a vision of 9, which means if you're like ecoing somewhere and you think like Adahaka is going to go up here and hug this corner and go this way, you want to be 9 range away from that. So like I usually count this, like each nexus is 2 hexes, so that'd be 2 range. So it's like 6 right there, and then like there. So I wouldn't want, so like this spot would be safe from a hunter's that's right here. That's just the way I count it. So like 9 vision, and I count it with nexus being 2 for each one. So here's a way to eco as Selendis with only 1 nexus being cloaked.
There's stuff in the way of your building.
So if I cloak only this middle nexus, oh, I need a +4 before I can do that. Okay, if I cloak only this middle nexus, I can cloak everything. Everything is cloaked. This is cloaked. This corner one, this is cloaked. All this is cloaked. So that can be really strong before lane vision, because you can sneak 22 mineral patches onto 1 cloak, and just three probes here, 3 probes here, 5 probes for the middle one, 5 probes here, 3 probes here, and 3 probes here, and that allows you to sneak 22 like mineral patches onto 1 cloak, and you just need 1 probe for each mineral patch. And late game, after they get lane vision, they can see the probes mining as they walk by. So what you want to do versus that is you want to eco something like this. Just do 4 times 3. Oh, by the way, for this one, it's a 4 times 3 in the middle, and then like you just keep doing the 4 times 3s, but you don't double layer this. You only have 1 layer here and here. So you can do something like this. Actually, you'd want to have these buildings be somewhat useful, right? Something like this. So if you cloak this middle building, it'll cloak everything else. And this allows you to hide eco and hide all these energy reactors and like a forge. I mean, it's super weak to like an overseer or something because it'll feed a ton, but it's just something you can do. You can also hide with like nexuses or pylons. But this also has like no vision, so if like an overseer is right here and they see your eco, they can just baneling all this and you lose everything. So it might be better to like mini base or just like try and win the game before. That's why I don't like Selendis. She's very low vision. But yeah, I think that's everything. Maybe I'll make another video like this. We'll see how this is received. Tell me in the comments if this was like a helpful video for you, or if you have any questions, just leave in the comment section and I'll try and respond. But yeah, I think that covers everything. Just like try and eco by defending your eco with the least amount, forcing Kerrigan to come to your location, and if she comes, you just wait, salvage, and just mini base back on the exact same location, and hopefully you don't lose too much. But yeah, alright, see you guys in the next video.